Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. We've got a lot of exciting news this week, folks, but first of all I want to thank Miskatonic Books for their sponsorship of this show. Thank you so much, miskatonicbooks.com, for sponsoring this show. Miskatonicbooks.com is a website based in the US that gets really exciting, difficult to find occult and esoteric books from around the world. Maybe there are books that have been printed abroad and they bring them into the US so that people in the US don't have to spend quite so much on shipping in order to get those. And also they're very good at finding really rare, really old books that have been out of print for a long time and that have hit the second-hand market and their prices have been inflated by a lot, kind of thing. And Miskatonic Books gets hold of difficult to find books for you and sells them at a reasonable price, which is really, really nice to see. There we are, miskatonicbooks.com for all your difficult to find esoteric book needs. Also check out their social media, for example on Facebook, where they update you on a weekly or even more often on the recent books that they've acquired. Some really, really rare books. This is the first volume of Pillars, which is impossible to find. And yes, if there's one place to find it, it's on miskatonicbooks.com. All right, let's move on, folks, to the news this week. We've got, of course, the news that landed about 5 minutes after I finished recording last week. So this is old news for many of you, but I expect it's actually new news for some of you. The Sworn and Secret Grimoire has now got a sequel. So Jake Stratton Kent wrote this book and was in the process of editing it with the publishers at Hadean Press when, of course, disaster struck and Jake Stratton Kent had a stroke and passed away some months after that. So this was actually Jake Stratton Kent's final work, and it was supposed to be a follow-up to the Sworn and Secret Grimoire, which had been published just a little bit earlier, and it's called Cyprian's Offices of Spirits, and the pre-orders have opened now for Cyprian's Office of Spirits. It's called Night School Volume 2, the previous one being Night School Volume 1, and it went on pre-order on the anniversary of Jake Stratton Kent's passing away. So there are two. Actually, there are probably going to be 3 editions. There are 2 editions currently on pre-order. There is a standard hardcover. This is the cover of the paperback, right? It's very, very similar to... I can't get it full screen. It's very similar to the paperback cover for the Volume 1. Okay, but this is nevertheless the page for getting the hardcover edition of Cyprian's Office of Spirits. It's no doubt going to be just as pretty as the previous one, the Secret and Sworn Grimoire, which was really, really lovely, really beautiful. I did a review of that one. You can go and check out my review if you want to see like the quality of the book itself. Very, very nice binding. But there's also this special edition. So this is actually going to be both the Sworn and Secret Grimoire and Cyprian's Offices of Spirits in one slipcase. Very, very cool, very exciting, and reasonable price. They are small books, though, do be advised. Nevertheless, for a slipcased limited edition like this, 300 copies, I think that this is a very reasonable price for 2 handmade books, essentially. And they are going to be so they're going to be numbered, limited editions, including both books, of course, bound in black leather cloth. Now, I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming it means faux leather, leather cloth. Difficult to say without further precision here. And printed marbled end papers with a ribbon marker with slipcase covered in printed marbled paper to match. So that's really, really nice. I wish I had the pocket for it. I just don't, but I certainly have put in my order for the Cyprian's Offices of Spirits, and really, really looking forward to that actually being published and being sent out. I'm very, very excited for this. Okay, let's move on to more news. So you may remember about a month ago now, I reviewed the Hermetic Arcanum, which was a second book published by Aula Lucis. And they sent me a video just a couple of days ago to give me a little sneak peek of like a deluxe edition of this. You know, I said in my review that I was really very, very impressed with the with the quality of the binding already with the standard edition here. The quality of the binding, the quality of the presentation, just I was really, really impressed with how pretty this book was for the price. But yeah, I'll just show you, I'll just hop over to Discord over here. This is the Foolish Fish Discord with yeah, lots and lots of different channels, and actually, you know, each one has got lots and lots and lots of channels underneath it, right? So in case you're not already on the Discord and you were wondering what that looks like, that's a little look there, a little preview. But if I just go full screen here, the quality of the video unfortunately is not fantastic. It's a little bit pixelated, but you can tell how beautiful this deluxe edition of Hermetic Arcanum is, right? So yeah, so it seems like they've received their, I think there are going to be 40 copies in total, and they've not been announced yet. You can't actually order it yet or pre-order it yet, but I will naturally leave a link down below that you can just keep a close eye on if you would like a copy of this lovely, lovely book. Yeah, they actually do a little flip through in a second, but you can see the tooling, how beautiful that is. Really lovely. From what I understand, the quality of the paper inside is the same as the standard edition, which was high quality paper, by the way. It was 100 GSM. It was a little see-through, which was something that I noted in the review of the original, but being see-through does not make it poor quality. It was, I think it's called Munken Rough, and it's extremely high quality paper. You'll be hard pressed to find better quality paper. There is better quality paper, but certainly not for these kinds of prices. So yeah, no, this is really nice. It'll flick through there. Just to get a rough idea. There we go. Let's move on to news from Matt Auryn. Matt has announced that his next book will be a book on the tarot, the psychic art of tarot, opening your inner eye for more insightful readings. I think that's a really exciting title, and having a little read of what he's saying here makes me quite excited. With 78 exercises, meditations and rituals accessible for practitioners of every experience level, the Psychic Art of Tarot provides step-by-step instructions for understanding your unique psychic style and mastering an array of skills. You'll explore the arts of mediumship, soul alignment, seeing and strengthening auras, clearing negative energy, scrying, forming powerful relationships with your higher self, and many more. I think that's really very, very exciting stuff indeed, with a couple of links over here which I'll leave down for you in the description of this video, so you can go and check that out for yourselves. Good stuff. News from David Hymes-Smith, actually, who now has not 2 but 3 print-on-demand books. I talked about this just a couple of it feels like just a couple of weeks ago that David Hyam-Smith has started putting out print-on-demand books rather than these super high deluxe, high-quality deluxe books, which he was just getting frustrated that he could only put out so many in so many months, right? I mean, it's an extremely onerous and time-consuming process to put out such a book. So now he's putting these out as print-on-demand books, which means that he can just put them out as and when he creates a new book, and he's already got 3 books in this series, which is incredibly cool. They're available in the UK through Watkins Books. I'll leave links to that. They're available. Did I did this in the wrong order? A little bit wrong order. Here we go. They're available in Canada through Anathema Publishing. And of course, they're available in, in the US directly through David Hyam-Smith's own website. Oh dear, I got these all in the wrong order, haven't I? But yeah, what's really exciting is in this Anathema Publishing post, David Hyam-Smith actually wrote, "Thank you for this lovely announcement. Here's an exclusive I've not mentioned anywhere yet. Volume 4 will be ready within a week or so. It's in production, and Volume 5 is finished also, but needs time." I think if this isn't testament to how much David really needed his books to be print on demand and to be able to speed up the publishing process, I don't know what is. But yeah, really, really nice to see these being available globally, so that, yeah, I mean, the shipping is somewhat mitigated wherever you are in the world, right? Maybe not quite wherever you are. Our friends in Australia and New Zealand, they're still probably going to be struggling a little bit there. But nevertheless more available than just in the US. That's very, very cool. All right, let's get back to some of these books that I was hoping to touch upon. And it's, Watkins Books made an announcement. Did I just simply miss it? I don't know, whatever. The Way of the Rose by Clark Strand and Perdita Finn. This is a book that was published a little while back, but I clearly completely missed it, and thanks to Watkins Books, who made a post about this on their social media, on Facebook, I was able to look into it a little bit, and it seems really, really interesting. So it's called The Way of the Rose, the radical path of the divine feminine hidden in the Rosary. What happens when a former Zen Buddhist monk and his feminist wife experience an apparition of the Virgin Mary, when a vision of a mysterious lady invited Clark Strand and Perdita Finn to pray the Rosary. Not only were they disinterested in becoming Catholic, they were finished with institutional religion altogether. Their main spiritual concerns were the fate of the planet and the future of their children and grandchildren in an age of ecological collapse. But this lady barely even referred to the church and its prescriptions. She spoke of the miraculous power of the Rosary to transform lives and heal the planet, revealing the secrets she had hidden within the Rosary's prayers and mysteries. Secrets of a past age when forests were the only cathedrals and people wove rose garlands for a mother whose loving presence was as close as the ground beneath their feet. She told Strand and Finn, "The Rosary is my body, and my body is the body of the world. Your body is one with that body. What cause could there be for fear?" Weaving together their own remarkable story of how they came to the Rosary, their discoveries about the eco-feminist wisdom at the heart of this ancient devotion, and the life-changing revelations of the Lady herself. The authors reveal an ancestral path available to everyone, religious or not, that returns us to the powerful healing rhythms of the natural world. That sounds really, really cool. Of course, naturally it made me think of the book, the short ritual that I released in Kindle form a couple of months ago, which kind of touches on the same themes, the Rosary as an approach to the divine feminine rather than just an approach to Mary of the Catholic Church, right? So yes, do check out The Way of the Rose by Clark Strand and Perdita Finn, if that sounds interesting to you. This was pointed out to me this morning, just this morning, by Wiz808. I think that's the name of the member on the Discord, on the Foolish Fish Discord. It's called Luban, a Chinese folk grimoire. That's not a very pretty cover, but it is the cover of the paperback, I believe. This is the cover of the hardcover. It's a Chinese grimoire. There are lots and lots and lots of different Chinese lineages of magic, and this is just simply one of them. And the author, something Reed, Jason E. Reed, here we go, is a Qigong practitioner and teacher, I believe, and he's translated this. Basically, this is a well-known grimoire in the Chinese tradition, apparently, and and he's just translated it into English and made it available to the English-speaking folk, which is really very, very cool. You can see that it's not new, 2022. However, the post was basically saying that this is it's a new printing. One little thing is that I'm not 100% sure. I feel confident with the ordering process here. It says order from the US at $90, order the UK edition for $75. Elsewhere, ask for an invoice or add order to, and we will confirm with you before refunding any excess postage, etc. Not sure what add order to means. Maybe add two, like book two of them, like order two of them, and if the postage is less than $75, then £75, excuse me, then they'll pay you back. It's not very clear at all. And then there's something about, oh yeah, here we go, £75 and $90. That's the special edition. Include include postage and packaging. Is that an imperative, like as in you must include the postage and package yourself, or does it mean that that price includes the postage and packaging? It's not clear at all. I think that Mandrake of Oxford, I think they're called, really need to make an effort there with the clarity of the ordering process. Still, if you're willing to take a risk, then this certainly does seem like a very interesting book with a very pretty cover. I can't speak to the quality of the text, of the translation. I can't speak to the quality of the paper, etc., etc., other than the fact that this is actually an actual stamp, which is nice, right? It's very cool, and you can see that they're numbered. That's all I can really say. I can just tell you this thing exists. Maybe you want to dig deeper, and maybe you want to take a risk. And if you do, then good luck. I'd love to take a risk, but it seems like a lot of money to just not be 100% sure of how that would work. I think that if you did want to get a copy, then writing to them, maybe sending them an email, could be a good way to go ahead, or maybe reaching out to them on social media or something along those lines. There we go. What else do we have? The Grand Communication by Nathan Schick. Lots and lots of, didn't I tell you, lots and lots of cool news this week. Is the central character in the Masonic ritual Hiram Abif, a biblical cover for Hermes Trismegistus. Does the Masonic ritual contain encoded secret Hermetic knowledge of alchemy, astrology, and magic? During the tumultuous period leading up to the 30 Years' War and English Civil War, the best and brightest minds searched desperately for something, anything, which could soothe the tensions and reunite people across religious confessions and political partisanship. Intriguingly, alchemy and alchemical symbols emerge as a theme promoted by authors from a variety of affiliations, but with the Inquisition in the background and tensions high. Biblical framings framing of the secrets was essential, infusing secret knowledge into the initiation rituals of the decaying stonemasons guild as it shifted from a medieval labor union to a social club. Alchemists fundamentally changed speculative Freemasonry at the dawn of the age of exploration and colonization into a dynamo of social cohesion and unity. Hopefully some of the sentences in this book are going to be a little bit shorter than this one. And so on and so forth. It does seem like a really interesting concept. A look into the into the Hermetic and alchemical, specifically the alchemical aspects incorporated into Freemasonry. I think it's a really nice idea for investigation. Very cool stuff. All right, a little bit of news from a couple of conferences, a couple of festivals. So the Glastonbury Occult Conference, which I told you about a couple of weeks ago, now has a full lineup. So the speakers are all declared. We know what the lectures are going to be. It looks very, very exciting. You can see some of these titles over here. It's all there, so you can decide if it's something that is for you or not. The Glastonbury Occult Festival, I'm going to say kind of confidently that it's the biggest occult festival in the UK, possibly in Europe, and it's invariably a lot of fun. I'd love to go, but again, it's not something for my pocket, not this year. Yeah, but you can buy your tickets over here at the website that I'll leave a link to down in the comments, of course. And then the other one that I wanted to draw your attention to was this new Viridis, not new actually, it's been going for a few years already. Viridis Genii Symposium. The 2024 Symposium also has its new lineup. So this is happening on June 27th to July 1st. Oh, maybe a little word about the Glastonbury one there. That's happening in February, right? So mid-February, 17th and 18th of February. Yeah, so sorry about that. Viridis Genii Symposium. So the Viridis Genii is actually a series of journals that focuses on plant magic, and it's fantastic. It's the best one out there, in my opinion, on plant magic. It's good stuff. It's real stuff. It's not just like grow this plant and feel like a fairy or something like that, right? It really is actual plant magic by actual practitioners. Very, very cool stuff. And yeah, you can check out the lineup for 2024. And if it loads, my internet connection in this temporary flat is pretty awful, but yeah, we'll hopefully make do. Yeah, you can get an idea of the names of the workshops over here, and of course the names of the presenters. Very, very cool. Give you a little idea of what's going on in this particular workshop, in this particular symposium. Very, very nice. There we are. News from Aeon Sophia Press. So I'm in two minds about this, folks. I received a book from Aeon Sophia Press recently. I received the 72 Angels of the Shem HaMeforash Grimoire, and I had a little conversation with the owner of Aeon Sophia Press. He's basically a single person responsible for all of this, for the editing, for the publishing, and then for the shipping as well. And it seems to me that as much as he's got a great eye for nice publication. I mean, the book that I finally received in the end was really, really nice. But he through our conversation, it became apparent that he was really struggling with the commercial side, and that he didn't enjoy communicating with customers. And unfortunately, that's something that's come across from the customers that I've spoken to, who have been a little frustrated with the way he's responded to them when they've written to him. That's when he's responded at all, and I know that he's been very frustrated with his impression that customers are being too impatient and things like this. But you know, we're used to a certain standard of customer care, I suppose, in 2024. And when you've paid that much money for a book and you don't get any news, and the last news that you had was that the book was supposed to be sent out 2 months ago, and there's not been any news since then of course you're going to worry, and of course you're going to want to contact the seller. And well, if the seller is going to bite your head off for being worried, then maybe the seller should be leaving the selling to someone else. So for Aeon Sophia books, my recommendation is to, if you want to get an Aeon Sophia book, is to stick to the resellers. Get your books, if you're in the US, through Miskatonic Books. And if you're in Europe, it's escaping me now, but no, actually it's Courtyard Books. They very often order in large batches of Aeon Sophia Press books. So really, yes, my recommendation is to stay safe and order your books through those resellers. I have unfortunately had a few clients who've told me that they never received their books, and yes, Aeon Sophia Press are not the only publisher who've done this. I know also that Three Hands Press, unfortunately, I'm so sorry to report this, actually, Three Hands Press, who recently, in my eyes, had pretty much redeemed themselves with this fantastic release, like however many years late it was, like 5 years late, whatever it was, of the Green Mysteries, but it was so beautiful that it was hard to hold that grudge, you know. But recently people have been putting in orders and not receiving them, and then trying to communicate with Three Hands Press, and the same thing, just not responding until you put in a PayPal claim, at which point, oh, suddenly, yeah, your book's dispatched. So yeah, that's not good. That's not good. And I would say that it's not the fault of the publisher, because they're you know, it's a one person or sometimes 2 person operation, right? But some 1 to 2 person operations manage to get it right. You know, you look at Anathema Publishing, you look at Scarlet Imprint, you know, these, you look at Black Letter Press, you you put your order in and you get your order, and if there's anything wrong, you communicate with them and you get a communication back. So yes, I think that some people are cut out for this and some people are not. Beyond that little rant, Aeon Sophia Press have got a new printing of lyrics of Lilith, songs of Samael, the serpent Sidur of the Nachash, El Acher by Matthew Whiteman. Now, this isn't up my street at all, at all. It's not my thing at all, but I know that some of you out there might be interested in this particular release. It's the whole anti-cosmic thing. It just completely leaves me nonplussed, and it feels like a complete misunderstanding of the whole point. But nevertheless, you know, if you're into your become a living god type of stuff, which I regularly speak out against, but you know, if that's the kind of thing that you enjoy, then yeah, this is out. Yeah, as I say, not all of Aeon Sophia Press's books are kind of edgelordy stuff, but some of them are, and some of you out there I know love this kind of stuff. So Yeah, now you know. There we are. Okay, and then let's talk about something that actually I have a huge amount of respect for instead. PGM Praxis 50 rights for 50 nights. You know that every time this comes up, I have to announce it because Jack Grail, in my opinion, is the one provider of courses out there who's worth your money. I can't praise his material enough. I can't praise his courses enough. It's one of those rare instances where the cost of the course seems high going in, but going out, you're going to feel like that was worth a lot more than what you paid for. And what's really nice is that you know, you can it's as you can see, it's $50 per month for 12 months. So it's not it is some money, right? It's like an amount of money that you may notice, but you can stop the payments at any point and just, you know, stick with what you've had, and it's just so good. It's just so good. The amount that I've learnt through this PGM Praxis course. I took this after the Hail Hecate course, which I did a full review of, by the way. And I recommend going to check out that review if you haven't seen it. And this was like just more of the same quality and the same amount of learning every lesson that came out. Really very, very cool. Very, very cool. So every week you receive like a half an hour video, half an hour to 45 minutes, something along those lines. And he's just going into detail on a specific PGM rite, a PGM spell, right? So the Graeco-Egyptian magical papyri of the late antiquity. Yeah, he just takes one of the spells and goes through it, explains to you what's going on, explains to you the historical background for it, explains to you all the difficult words, explains to you all the magical techniques that are being used so that you can use them yourself to great effect. Fantastic stuff, absolutely fantastic stuff, and yeah, I will never not recommend this course from Jack Grail. Extraordinary stuff. And then finally, this isn't a board game. I usually do a board game of the week, but this time it's a tarot. It's the Steamboat Willie Arcana of 1928. So, as many of you probably know, the original Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie of Disney is no longer covered by copyright. It's now in the public domain, and of course, everyone's making horror movies and just using this Steamboat Willie figure however they can. It's not always great, but this actually looks surprisingly good. I was looking at some of the cards here, so it's Steamboat Arcana and the Gaucho's Arcana. It actually looks surprisingly good. I was surprised as I looked through this. Right, you can see the kind of difference between the two decks here, the Gaucho and the Steamboat. And different sizes as well. There we go. Anyway, looks like a little bit of fun. There we go, folks. That's the news for this week. I hope you found something of interest to you. I think that there's so much great stuff coming out all the time. Thank you very much for watching the show. Please remember to leave a thumbs up, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, then the links to book consultation with me, whatever topic you wish, or alternatively a tarot reading, it's all down in the description and also in the pinned comment down there. thanks so much for staying with me and still watching these shows, and for your support, and yeah, why not thank you to all the members, every single one of you who contribute to keeping the channel alive. It means a huge amount to me. Like, it means the world to me, actually, being able to do this on an ongoing basis. Thank you very much, every member. So look after yourselves, and yeah, and each other, of course, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.